Judge Kang sat in his large chair, back straight as a ruler. The courtroom shined with clean metal and bright lights. All around him, screens showed maps of space and Earth's place among the stars. It had not been easy for humans to join the Galactic Concordate. Many alien races had doubted humans were ready. Today was like many others for Judge Kang. He had been a judge for 15 years. People said he was fair but tough. No one broke rules in his courtroom without paying the price. He looked down at his screen. The next case made him frown. Another scientist breaking the rules. Scientists always thought they knew better than the law. "Bring in the next case," he said to his clerk. The doors slid open. A woman walked in with calm steps. Dr. Una Park wore the blue uniform of Earth's Quantum Physics Division. The silver atom symbol on her chest caught the light. Her hair was pulled back neatly, and she carried a small data pad. Judge Kang read the charges. "Dr. Una Park, you entered Sector 17B without permission. This area is off-limits by order of the Galactic Concordate. How do you plead?" Dr. Park looked up at him without fear. "I admit I was there, Your Honor. But I had good reason." Kang raised an eyebrow. "They always had good reasons." "The law doesn't care about your reasons, Dr. Park." The courtroom was almost empty today. A few clerks, some guards, and one board reporter. But this case was more important than it seemed. The aliens of the Concordate watched how humans followed galactic laws. One mistake could hurt Earth's standing. "Please, explain your actions," Judge Kang said. Dr. Park touched her datapad. A 3D image appeared in the air. It showed swirling energy in strange patterns. "These are quantum anomalies I found in Sector 17B, she said. "They match nothing in our science books. If we study them, we might learn new ways to travel through space or create energy." Judge Kang wasn't impressed. "And why didn't you apply for permission?" "I did. 3 times. I was denied each time." Dr. Park's voice stayed calm, but her eyes showed her frustration. "The alien races don't want us to have this knowledge. They say we're not ready." "So you broke the law because you didn't like the answer?" Kang asked. "That's not how the system works." The guards at the door shifted on their feet. This was an old story, Earth trying to catch up with alien technology. Some humans played by the rules, others didn't. "Your Honor, Earth needs this research," Dr. Park said. "The other races have had space travel for thousands of years. We've had it for less than 200. They keep us dependent on them." Judge Kang looked at her file again. Dr. Park had a clean record until now. Top of her class at Seoul University. 3 major discoveries in quantum physics. She could have worked anywhere, but she chose to serve Earth. "The rules protect everyone, Dr. Park. What if those quantum anomalies were dangerous? What if you had triggered something harmful?" "I took safety measures," she said. "I'm not reckless. But you are breaking the law." Judge Kang's voice turned cold. "The Concordate doesn't care how smart you are or how careful. Rules exist for a reason." He typed on his screen. "I find you guilty of unauthorized research in a restricted zone. You are fined 50,000 credits and your research license is suspended for 3 months." Dr. Park's shoulders dropped slightly. The fine was heavy, almost half a year's salary for most scientists. "May I say one more thing, Your Honor?" Judge Kang nodded. "Sometimes progress requires looking beyond the letter of the law. The aliens fear human potential. That's why they restrict us." Judge Kang frowned. "Be careful, Dr. Park. Words like that could be seen as dangerous." "Truth often is," she replied. As she turned to leave, Judge Kang felt a strange unease. Something about her calm confidence bothered him. Most people left his courtroom with heads down, but not Dr. Park. The guards opened the doors for her. Before walking out, she looked back once. Their eyes met across the courtroom. "Next case," Judge Kang said, looking away first. Little did he know that their paths would cross again in ways neither could imagine. Claude should create the next part of the story. 800 words based on Part 2, the appointment section provided. Make it interesting, but in simple, basic English using third-person style. Do not include headings. Remember to cite any sources if you use web search tool results. 3 months passed quickly. Judge Kang packed his bags with care. He folded his best formal robes and placed his family photo on top. The picture showed his parents smiling in front of their small house in New Seoul. They would be proud to see him now. The shuttle ride to Proxima Station took 2 days. Judge Kang spent most of it reading about his new job. Earth's judicial representative to the Galactic Concordat was a big title. Only 5 humans had held it before him. As the shuttle docked, Judge Kang looked out the window. Proxima Station hung in space like a giant silver wheel. Lights blinked along its rim. Ships from 20 different worlds came and went from its docking bays. "Welcome to Proxima Station," said a voice over the speakers. "Earth's home among the stars." Judge Kang picked up his bags and joined the line of people leaving the shuttle. His heart beat faster than normal. This was the biggest moment of his career. A young man in a blue uniform waited for him at the gate. "Judge Kang, I'm Tae, your assistant. Welcome to Proxima." Tae took one of his bags. "Your rooms are ready, sir. But first there's an orientation meeting for new officials. It starts in 20 minutes. They walked through wide halls with high ceilings. The station was much bigger inside than it looked from space. People and aliens moved in all directions. Some aliens had 4 legs. Others floated instead of walking. "The station holds over 10,000 beings," Tae explained. "Representatives from all 27 Concordat worlds have offices here." Judge Kang nodded, trying not to stare at a tall alien with blue skin and 3 eyes. They entered a large round room called the atrium. It had a glass ceiling that showed the stars. Plants from many worlds grew in pots and hanging gardens. The air smelled fresh and clean. "The orientation is in meeting room 12, Tae said. "Through those doors and to the left." Judge Kang thanked him and walked across the atrium. He felt important in his new uniform with Earth's symbol on the chest. Other new officials headed the same way. Meeting room 12 was already half full when he arrived. Chairs faced a small stage at the front. Judge Kang took a seat near the middle and nodded to the woman beside him. "First time on the station?" she asked. "Yes," he admitted. "Everything is bigger than I expected." "You'll get used to it," she said with a smile. "I've been here 6 months. The food isn't great, but the view makes up for it." More people filed in. Soon all seats were taken. The room held about 50 humans, all wearing different department uniforms. The door at the side of the stage opened. 3 people walked out. One was the human ambassador to the Concordat, an older man named Director Lee. Judge Kang didn't recognize the second person, but the third made him sit up straight in shock. It was Dr. Yuna Park. She wore a different uniform now. The Science Division symbol on her chest had a gold border showing high rank. Her hair was the same, but she stood taller, more confident. Director Lee stepped to the front. "Welcome, new representatives of Earth. Today you join an important mission. Each of you brings skills our planet needs here among the stars." He gestured to the woman beside him. "This is Deputy Director Han, who will oversee your daily work." Then he turned to Dr. Park. "And allow me to introduce Earth's new Science Director, Dr. Yuna Park. She was appointed last month after her groundbreaking work on quantum communications." Judge Kang couldn't believe his ears. The woman he had fined and scolded now held one of the highest positions in Earth's space program, and from the organization chart he had studied, she outranked him. Dr. Park stepped forward. "Thank you, Director Lee. I look forward to working with all our new team members." Her eyes moved across the room and stopped when she saw Judge Kang. For a moment, surprise showed on her face. Then she gave a small nod of recognition. Judge Kang felt his face grow warm. He remembered how cold he had been to her in his courtroom, how he had dismissed her work as unimportant. Now she was his superior. Dr. Park began to speak about Earth's scientific goals. Her voice was clear and strong. Judge Kang tried to focus, but his mind kept returning to their last meeting. Suddenly, a loud alarm cut through the room. Red lights flashed on the walls. Everyone looked around in confusion. "Attention all station personnel," said a calm voice over the speakers. "We have a level 2 emergency. All department heads report to Central Command. All other personnel return to quarters and await instructions." Dr. Park stopped mid-sentence. She looked at Director Lee, who nodded. "Meeting dismissed," he said quickly. "Follow emergency protocols." As people stood up, confused and worried, Judge Kang watched Dr. Park hurry out a side door with the other leaders. Whatever emergency had happened, she would be part of solving it. And somehow Judge Kang knew their paths would cross again very soon. Judge Kang followed the crowd of humans rushing toward Central Command. Emergency lights flashed in the hallways. Station workers directed people where to go. Some looked worried, but most stayed calm. Central Command was a large room with screens covering every wall. Stars and planets showed on some screens. Numbers and words filled others. In the middle stood a round table where leaders from different worlds gathered. Judge Kang found a spot near the back where he could watch. As Earth's new judicial representative, he needed to understand what was happening, but he didn't want to get in the way. The room was loud with many voices. Some spoke Earth languages. Others used the clicking sounds or low hums of alien speech. Translation devices helped everyone understand each other. Director Lee stood with Dr. Park and other human leaders on one side of the table. Across from them, tall blue-skinned aliens with long necks talked quickly among themselves. These were the Viridians, known for their advanced science and technology. The main screen changed to show a planet with 2 moons. A strange dark spot appeared on one side of the planet. It looked like a storm, but it glowed with purple light. The room grew quiet as an older Viridian stepped forward. His skin was darker blue than the others, almost navy. When he spoke, his voice was deep and serious. "This is Viridia Prime, our home colony in Sector 8, he said. 6 hours ago, this spatial anomaly appeared. It is growing quickly. The screen showed the dark purple spot getting bigger. If it continues to grow at this rate, it will cover half the planet in 3 days. Our people there will die." Director Lee frowned. "What kind of anomaly is it? Have you seen anything like this before?" The Viridian made a sound like a sigh. "It is a quantum disruption. It changes the basic rules of physics inside its boundaries. Nothing can live inside it." Another alien, with red scales and 4 arms, spoke up. "What about evacuation?" "We have started," said the Viridian, "but there are over 2 million of my people on that world. Our ships can carry only a few thousand at once." The room filled with worried voices again. Judge Kang watched Dr. Park closely. She stared at the screen with great focus, her eyes moving back and forth as if reading something only she could see. A small green alien with large eyes jumped onto the table. "We must send ships from all worlds to help with evacuation." Others nodded and started planning which ships to send. "Wait," said the main Viridian. "Evacuation will not save everyone. We need to stop the anomaly itself." "How?" asked someone from the back of the room. "Our scientists have tried 3 methods already. All failed." The Viridian looked tired. "Most stabilization methods will fail. Our models show complete colony loss within 72 hours. The room grew quiet again. 2 million lives would be lost. It was hard to imagine. Then Dr. Park stepped forward. Judge Kang stood straighter, watching her closely. "I may have a solution," she said. All eyes turned to her. The Viridians looked doubtful. "Humans have no experience with quantum anomalies," said one. "Your species has barely mastered space travel." Dr. Park ignored the insult. She touched a control on the table. The main screen changed to show new images, swirling patterns of energy. That looked similar to the purple spot on the Viridian planet. "The anomaly matches patterns I documented in Sector 17B, she stated. "I've been studying these energy formations for 3 years. Judge Kang felt his stomach tighten. Sector 17B. The restricted zone where he had caught her. The research he had punished her for. How would you stop it?" asked Director Lee. Dr. Park brought up more images. "My team has developed a quantum stabilizer. It creates a field that can push back against the anomaly, forcing it to collapse in on itself." The main Viridian stepped closer to study her data. "This is advanced work. Has it been tested?" "In simulations only," admitted Dr. Park. "We haven't had a chance to test it on a real anomaly." "So it might not work," said the Viridian. "It might not," agreed Dr. Park. "But your methods have already failed. Mine might succeed." The room was silent as everyone thought about this. Then the Viridian asked, "How soon can your device be ready?" "It's ready now," said Dr. Park. "We just need to load it onto a ship." Sounds of surprise filled the room. Judge Kang realized what this meant. Dr. Park had built her device despite the research restrictions, despite his ruling. "If you had this technology ready, why didn't you inform the Concordat?" demanded one of the Viridians. Dr. Park looked straight at Judge Kang for the first time. "Because the technology uses principles discovered in Sector 17B. After my research there was ruled illegal. I couldn't get approval to develop it further." All eyes followed her gaze to Judge Kang. His face felt hot. "We need judicial clearance to use experimental technology," continued Dr. Park. "Especially technology based on restricted research." Judge Kang realized what was happening. As Earth's judicial representative, he had the power to approve or deny the use of Dr. Park's device. If he said no, millions might die. If he said yes, he would admit his earlier judgment was wrong. Every alien in the room watched him. This wasn't just about saving lives. This was Earth showing its value to the Galactic Concordat. Judge Kang stepped forward. It was time to decide. The Earthship Hope moved fast through subspace. Normal stars became long lines of light outside the windows. Inside, 20 people worked to prepare for their dangerous mission. Judge Kang sat in his small room, reading reports on his screen. He had made a big decision back at the station. When Dr. Park asked for permission to use her device, he had said yes right away. He didn't hesitate. 2 million lives were more important than rules. The Viridians had been surprised. They didn't expect humans to help them so quickly. Some even seemed unhappy about needing human help. A soft sound came from his door. When it opened, Dr. Park stood there. "May I come in?" she asked. Judge Kang nodded and moved some papers so she could sit. For a moment, neither spoke. The only sound was the low hum of the ship's engines. "I wanted to thank you," Dr. Park said. "Finally. For approving the mission. Not many judges would go against their own ruling." Judge Kang shook his head. "I'm not thanking you for breaking the law, but I'm glad you continued your research, even after I fined you." Dr. Park smiled. A little. It was the first time he had seen her smile. "We should check the observation deck," she said. "We'll be dropping out of subspace soon." They walked through narrow hallways. Crew members moved quickly past them, getting ready for arrival. The ship would reach Viridia Prime in less than an hour. The observation deck was empty when they arrived. Large windows showed the strange light of subspace all around them. They stood side by side, watching. "You risked your career for this research," Judge Kang said after a while. He wasn't angry anymore, he was curious. "Why was it so important to you?" "The same reason you approved its use today," she answered. "Because sometimes we must look beyond rules to see what's right." She turned to face him. "And you risked your career approving its use. Perhaps we're not so different." Judge Kang thought about this. Maybe she was right. "Tell me about your work," he said. "Help me understand." As the ship raced toward Viridia Prime, Dr. Park explained how she became interested in quantum physics. She grew up in New Seoul during Earth's big push into space technology. "My parents were both teachers," she said. "We lived in a small apartment near the spaceport. I used to sit on our roof and watch the first interstellar ships leave Earth. She was 7 years old when humans joined the Galactic Concordat." She remembered the excitement, the hope that humans would learn new science from alien friends. "But the aliens didn't share much," she said. "They said we weren't ready. Year after year they kept saying, 'Not yet.' That made her want to learn, more to prove humans were ready. She studied harder than anyone else. When she found strange energy patterns in Sector 17B, she knew it was important. The Concordat didn't want us studying there," she said. "That made me even more sure it was valuable." The ship's speaker system came on. "Attention all crew. Preparing to exit subspace in 5 minutes. All personnel to stations." Dr. Park stood up. "I need to check the quantum stabilizer." "I'll come with you," said Judge Kang. They went down to the cargo hold, a big room at the bottom of the ship. In the middle sat Dr. Park's invention. It looked like a metal ball with rings around it, about the size of a small car. Lights blinked on its surface. Dr. Park's team worked around it, checking numbers on screens. They looked nervous but determined. "Is it ready?" she asked them. "Yes, Director," said one man. "Power levels are good. Field generators are stable." The ship shook slightly. The stars outside the small windows changed from lines back to points. They had left subspace. "We've arrived at Viridia Prime," said the captain's voice over the speakers. "All crew to emergency stations, prepare for approach." Dr. Park led Judge Kang to the bridge, the room where the captain controlled the ship. Screens showed the planet ahead. It was beautiful, with blue oceans and green land. But on one side, a dark purple spot covered almost a quarter of the surface. "The anomaly has grown," said the captain. Her face was serious. "It's much bigger than in our last report." Dr. Park moved closer to the screen. "How much time do we have?" The science officer checked his instruments. "At this rate of growth, the anomaly will cover half the planet in 24 hours, not 72 as predicted." Judge Kang watched Dr. Park's face. Would she still be confident? Would she be afraid? But Dr. Park showed no fear. She studied the screen, then nodded as if making a decision. "We need to get closer," she said. "The stabilizer must be within 50 kilometers of the anomaly's edge to work." The captain looked worried. "That's very close. The ship could be damaged." "I know," said Dr. Park, "but it's the only way." The captain nodded slowly. "Helm, set course for the edge of the anomaly. All crew prepare for possible emergency conditions." The ship moved toward the planet. Judge Kang looked at the purple-black mass on the screen. It seemed to pulse like something alive and hungry. He had never seen anything so strange or scary. "Will your device really work?" he asked quietly. Dr. Park's eyes stayed on the screen. "It has to," she said simply. The ship flew closer to the planet. Outside, the purple glow became visible through the windows. It looked beautiful, but wrong, like a bruise on the face of the world. Alarms started to sound. "Energy readings are off the charts," called the science officer. "The anomaly is much stronger than we thought." The ship shook. Lights flickered. "We have to deploy now," said Dr. Park. Her voice was calm but firm. "Before it's too late." The ID ship shook again, harder this time. People held onto walls and chairs to stay standing. Warning lights flashed red across the bridge. "Shields at 60%, called out a crew member. "We can't get much closer." Dr. Park turned to the captain. "We need to launch the stabilizer now." The captain nodded. "Prepare for launch. All hands brace for impact." Dr. Park rushed to the control panel. Judge Kang watched as her fingers moved quickly over the screen. She worked fast, but didn't seem scared or worried. "Launch in 10 seconds, said the computer voice. Dr. Park looked up at the main screen. The purple mass filled almost the whole view now. It looked like an angry storm made of light. 5 seconds, 4, 3, 2, 1, launch. The ship jerked as the quantum stabilizer shot out from the cargo hold. On the screen, they could see the metal ball with its rings flying toward the purple anomaly. "Stabilizer deployed," said Dr. Park. "Starting containment field." From the small device, blue light began to spread out in all directions. It formed a dome of energy that pushed against the purple mass. Where the two lights met, sparks flew like tiny stars. Everyone on the bridge held their breath. Would it work? Or would they watch as a whole planet died? For a long minute, nothing seemed to happen. The blue field pushed against the purple mass, but the anomaly kept growing. "It's not working," someone whispered. Then Dr. Park adjusted something. On her control panel, the blue field glowed brighter. It began to push the purple mass back, just a little at first, then more. "It's working," said the science officer. "The anomaly is shrinking." Slowly, the purple mass grew smaller. The blue field of energy from Dr. Park's device forced it back, foot by foot, mile by mile. After an hour, the anomaly was half its original size. After 2 hours, it was just a small spot on the planet's surface. "Final pulse," said Dr. Park. She pressed a button. The blue field flashed once, very bright. When the light faded, the purple anomaly was gone. The bridge was quiet for a moment. Then people began to cheer and hug each other. Dr. Park smiled, looking tired but happy. Judge Kang walked over to her. "You did it," he said. "You saved them all." Dr. Park shook her head. "We all did it. The whole team." The next day, they landed on Viridia Prime. The Viridian leaders met them at the spaceport. Thousands of blue-skinned aliens lined the streets, watching the humans with new interest. In a big stone building, the main Viridian elder spoke to all the humans. "For many years, We thought your species was not ready to join us as true partners. Today you have proved us wrong." He bowed low to Dr. Park. "Your science saved our people, we thank you." Then, to everyone's surprise, he bowed to Judge Kang as well. "And you, Judge, showed wisdom by allowing this technology to be used even though it came from restricted research." The Viridian raised his three-fingered hands. "Perhaps we have misjudged humanity's readiness for the greater universe." 3 months passed. Back on Proxima Station, things changed. The Viridians shared some of their technology with Earth. Other alien races began to treat humans with more respect. Dr. Park became famous. Her quantum stabilizer technology was studied by scientists from many worlds. Judge Kang's decision was praised as brave and right. One sunny artificial morning, Judge Kang walked through the station gardens. The plants here came from 20 different planets. Some had blue leaves, others moved on their own, following the light. He found Dr. Park sitting on a bench near a small pool. Fish with rainbow scales swam in circles below the surface. "May I join you?" he asked. She nodded and moved over to make room. "Big day tomorrow," said Judge Kang. "The new protocols will change everything." The next day, the Galactic Concordat would sign new rules for scientific cooperation. Earth would be allowed to study things that were off limits before. Humans would work with aliens as partners, not students. "Yes," agreed Dr. Park. "It's what I always hoped for." They sat quietly for a while, watching the fish swim. "You once fined me for seeing beyond boundaries," Dr. Park said at last. Judge Kang smiled a little. "And you showed me why those boundaries sometimes need to be questioned." He looked up at the glass ceiling, where stars shone bright and clear. "The scales of justice and the pursuit of knowledge, perhaps both require balance." The next day, they stood side by side in the Great Hall of the Concordat. Leaders from all 27 worlds sat around a huge round table. The new protocols were read aloud in many languages. When all had signed, the head of the Concordat raised the document high. "A new age begins," he announced. "All species move forward together." Judge Kang looked at Dr. Park. She stood tall and proud, her eyes bright with hope for the future. Outside the window, ships from many worlds flew past. Among them was a new kind of Earth ship, built with both human ideas and alien help. Earth's place in the stars had changed, not in one big jump, but in a small important step. Other steps would follow. Judge Kang thought of his courtroom back on Earth, where this all began. Rules were important, but so was knowing when to look beyond them. He watched as Dr. Park talked with alien scientists, sharing ideas as equals at last. Sometimes he thought progress comes from unexpected places, even from a courtroom where a judge once fined someone who saw farther than he did.